Can you hear me now? Hey, Jason. Hi, guys. Can somebody put a 1? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hi, therapist, Hi, Julie. Hi. Okay. You can see me now? Yes? Okay, thank you. It wouldn't be me if it weren't without technical difficulties. Hi, guys. How are you? Huh? Did everybody have a good week? Thank you so much for coming. It's nice to see you all. Yay. Hi, guys. Hi, Erin. Hi, Chris. Hi, OnlyFan. Yes, Julie, you did. He is, I don't know what he wants. He wants to go out the front door, which is not happening. So I saw, as you guys were chatting, that some of you found Henry in the thumbnail. Did you find anything else hidden in the thumbnail? Yeah, Henry was in the thumbnail. He was in there more than once. Therapist, you love games. Well, I will probably, this is what I'm thinking is that I'm going to keep that basic setup, but I'm just going to add and remove things every week and see if you guys find them. So Box Henry and Computer Henry, that's right. But there's something else too. Something not Henry. Ah, you got it. Okay. It is, it's small me. Yeah. On the murder board. You need to see Henry eating salad. Oh, Lord. I'm out of salad. Hi, Jason. Thanks for coming. I'm out of salad at the moment. I have photos. Maybe I have videos on my phone, but I'll get them put up. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do little Easter egg things. I actually layered so much stuff in there this time that I went back and took some of it out because I thought maybe it was just too dense. But, yeah, we're investigators. Got to investigate things. So look for changes in the thumbnail. I think that would be fun. Did everybody enjoy trial time on Trial TV Live this week? I saw some of you there. What were we watching? You guys flew through so many trials this week. Oh my God. I could not keep up with you at all. I tried to pop in and say hello when I could, but you guys were just moving right along. The last trial you had on, I'm going to say his name wrong. I think it's Jose Iberia, maybe. My mom just asked me, she sent me a text and said, "Are you going to cover that trial?" And I said, "Oh my God, you sound just like one of the subscribers." Oh. So that's an interesting case, but it seems kind of open and shut. A bench trial, you don't see that too often. And from what I've seen, it looks like they've got plenty of evidence. So, and it looks like we've got another one coming down the road because a woman went missing and the husband's now been arrested for it. I want to say their last name is Simpson. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I was looking at it. Like he was driving around with some cement in the back of his truck and a tarp. And of course, he went shopping at the incident aisle at Walmart. That's what we're renaming it now is the incident aisle so that the algorithm doesn't hide my videos. But you all know what I mean because it's not just the incident aisle. But that's where we go for our supplies, both before and after. Yes, Suzanne Simpson. Thank you, therapist. And husband, Bart. So Bart, it seems, may have, yes, it's hashtag incident aisle. It seems Bart may have featured in the demise of Suzanne, unfortunately. And I believe they have an 11-year-old girl, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in there. I don't know. I probably have these cases confused with my own cases. I've got a couple that involve a lot of people and they're hard to keep straight. So, well, I had a regular week as far as things go. Spent some time at the county jail, as usual. And then they decided, so there were a couple of things that that got broken during the hurricane, or that were damaged, I guess. So water leaking from the ceiling was one. Therapist, you know. The glasses and the tank top is me. Therapist, you know, says Walmart, flower, pink car, handcuffs, palm tree, laptop, cats, someone wearing glasses and a tank top. The cat is Henry, and the person in the glasses and the tank top would be me. You did it. I don't have any prizes for you, but congratulations nonetheless. Oh man, it's so much fun. I want to just play in Canva and not do anything else. You know, I'm working on a little video um, for you guys. Leah says, not many people can say they spent some time at the county jail without actually being behind bars. Yeah, really. This is true. I think I only had to go see one person this week, though. Honestly, I don't remember. I shouldn't say that. I don't remember. So I had reported to the landlords, you know, there were ceiling leaks, which were to be expected. Mainly when the rain blows sideways, that's when they happen. But they had expanded during Hurricane Milton. So they'd come in and looked at that. They'd send a window guy around to look at everybody's windows that face a certain direction because we all got water. There's no weather stripping, and they finally realized that that might be helpful. But then I had this issue where my kitchen floor was like peeling up. So it started in a small area and it's got bigger and it got bigger and it got bigger. And I'm like, there's water pushing that up from underneath, but where's the water coming from? So I took the pictures and I sent them the emails. And in the middle of my day on Thursday, they show up to start investigating where that water came from with no notice at all. And me in the middle of trying to work. So I was like, okay, what do you need access to? They start taking things apart, looking for wherever this water is coming from. They finally land on it being the water heater. Okay, we'll be back at 10:30 tomorrow morning. We need you to move stuff from here, and we need you to move stuff from here. Okay, I did that. I moved the stuff from where they told me, and at 10:30, the water heater was sitting outside my door, but they weren't here. So finally, around 2 o'clock, I sent an email to the office and I'm like, hey, are they going to come or not? Because, you know, I've been waiting all day and I've got a headache and I just want to go lay down. So they all show up then. It's two maintenance people and the apartment manager. And I'm like, what? She's like, do you want to go in your room and sit down? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. She's like, no, I know you had a headache. Let's go in here. Why don't you come in here with me? Sit down on your bed. It's like, okay. Thursday, though, here's the weirdest thing that happened. I live in an open space. It's pretty open. It's not a loft, but it's pretty open space. So I have this ginormous desk. And I was sitting here at this desk with the squeaky chair, minding my own business. I think I was watching Trial TV Live. You know, working, doing whatever. And all of a sudden I look up and there's 3 EMTs looking at me. I was like, they said, ma'am, we understand you're having seizures. I've never had a seizure. I shake. I tremble. I tremble. Not all the time, some of the time. Every doctor I've seen, I have all the specialists, all of this. I have seen every doctor. Everybody says it's fine. It's fine. Like the trembles are fine, right? I take a beta blocker for them, and people will notice. It's very noticeable. Like even on a TV interview I gave, you could see me like physically shaking. But normally I take one of these little beta blockers. Exactly. Hold on, Chris. So I take this little beta blocker, you know, in the morning, and maybe I had too much soda yesterday and the caffeine kicked it or whatever. But I was sitting here just minding my own business this was on Thursday, not on Friday, trying to get my days straight. And they're like, are you having seizures? I'm like, I don't know what you are talking about or why did you why are you here? And he said, well, we got a call that you were having seizures. And I said, I've never had a seizure in my life. Well, we're going to need to take your blood pressure. Exactly, Julie. I was lost too. So it turns out that it seemed to have been that one of the maintenance workers was concerned because he thought I was shaking too much, which that happens. It's one of the maintenance people called, but the translation from Spanish to English turned from shaking a little bit or having trembles or whatever. Like, if you get hyped up on caffeine, you might be shaking. That's kind of how it is for me, right? But I gave up caffeine to try to calm the trembles. Hey, sneaky side. So I guess what happened was instead of coming to me and saying, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? I was fine. Like I said, I was sitting here minding my business. I might have looked stressed. I don't have a resting nice face. I have a resting not so nice face. But so they're like, yeah, they called and said you were having seizures and stuff. I'm like, I'm not having any seizures. And I asked the property manager the next day, I said, why would somebody call 911? Why not just ask me if I was okay? I mean, nothing was wrong with me. Can I show you how you were shaking? No, I mean, just like if you have too much coffee or something, have you ever vibrated from like stress or caffeine or something to that effect? That's how I am. But I didn't even think I was doing it yesterday. So I gave up caffeine because that used to just make it worse. So they took my blood pressure and stuck my finger and away they went. And I was like, what in the hell just happened to me? Like, why would you not ask the person before you went about calling 911? Jenny, you're funny. I'm sorry. Oh my God. So the next day when they came back, they brought the apartment manager with them. And I had said I had a headache and I just wanted them to come and, do the water heater so I could go lay down. But apparently I needed to be handled at that point. So, yeah, it just, I don't have words. I just did not understand. I'm like, why didn't someone ask me if I was okay? You know? Like maybe didn't feel well, but that doesn't I was lightheaded and I figured out that I hadn't eaten in a while. And that's not normally like me. So I did realize I was lightheaded from not having eaten. Um, but there was nothing wrong with me. Parental units, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Nobody asked me if I was fine. I'm fine. So that was interesting. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you guys. It's not a crazy interesting life, therapist. It's just crazy life. Yeah, I think my blood sugar probably got too low because I drank a thing of Valencia orange juice I had, and I just like drank the whole thing at once. It was so good. So anyway, that's not normally my problem because I'm constantly obsessed with food. But how weird, right? So I know my dad watches this on the replay because he's on satellite for his internet and he gets more bandwidth at like 4:00 in the morning. But I think my mother is here and my stepmother may be here too as well. So yeah, that was the big excitement for the day. Yeah. For the week, I guess. And then they came in, they switched out the water heater, and that's great. But in doing that, stuff was messy to begin with. Now it's even worse, and I just don't have the strength to figure out where to put it all. Tonight is another night. So what's on tap? Yes, sorry. I've got some sentencing information together for you guys, and we're gonna try to look at that. So I had somebody in the questions, I believe her name was Barb, ask about understanding the sentencing court score sheet in Florida. And I've had question from Jenny about the different degrees of homicide and how those are different. And then I've got that. I've got sentencing stuff. I've got a verdict form. I've got a score sheet. Just kind of different tabs for us to click on and look at. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. Sneaky side experiences a burglary, avalanche, lost dog, sketchy, nice new neighbor, and Florida PISAM has magic paramedics show up. One of them was really cute. I was sad he was seeing me. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it sounds like you guys have exciting lives. Mine's not very exciting. I don't know. So I pulled together some stuff like that because I know we have Sarah's sentencing, and then the next day we have Ashley Benefield's sentencing, and I am to accompany the squeegee of justice, aka Chris, to both. As far as I know, I am still able to do that. Ashley's in Bradenton, which is not too far from Tampa, and Sarah, of course, is over in Orlando. So, oh, and I pulled up 2 of the prisons that Sarah might get herself sent to. So I thought we'd take a look at that. So I am going to try to share my screen, and we'll see how this goes. So let me see. There's a thing on StreamYard that says having issues, and I just want to say all the time. Yes, the answer is yes, all the time. All right, so I'm going to screen share, and we're going to start with sentencing guidelines. Okay, now I can't see you, so I hope you can see me. This is the Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure. Erin, text me if I can't be seen, because for whatever reason I can't bring a second screen up right now. Okay, so this is the sentencing guidelines. Rule 3.701. This is to be used with certain forms, and it's to the purpose of the sentencing guidelines. Thank you, Erin. Is to establish a uniform set of standards to guide the sentencing judge in the sentence decision-making process. The guidelines represent a synthesis of current sentencing theory. Okay, perfect. Thank you. The guidelines represent a synthesis of current sentencing theory and historic sentencing practices throughout the state. Sentencing guidelines are intended to eliminate unwarranted variation in the sentencing process by reducing the subjectivity in interpreting specific offense-related and offender-related criteria, and in defining their relative importance in the sentencing decision. The sentencing guidelines embody the following principles: that sentencing should be neutral with respect to race, gender, social, and economic status. The primary purpose of sentencing is to punish the offender. Rehabilitation and other traditional considerations continue to be desired goals, but must assume a subordinate role. I have feelings about that for some of the younger offenders, because you guys know I've got a bunch of young ones right now, and I'd like to see them like be put into, more of a school penitentiary, if that exists. The penalty imposed should be commensurate with the severity of the convicted offense and the circumstances surrounding the offense. The severity of the sanction should increase with the length and nature of the offender's criminal history. The sentence imposed by the sentencing judge should reflect the length of time to be served, shortened only by the application of gain time. While sentencing guidelines are designed to aid the judge in sentencing decision and are not intended to usurp judicial discretion, departures from the presumptive sentences established in the guidelines shall be articulated in writing and made when circumstances or facts reasonably justify the aggregation or the mitigation of the sentence. The level of proof necessary to establish facts supporting a departure from a sentence under the guidelines is a preponderance of the evidence. So in criminal court, you have to find the person guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. A preponderance of the evidence is a much, much lower standard. They're not saying you have to find the person guilty on this lower standard. They're saying that the judge has to provide a written ruling, basically, of why they're departing upward or downward from the sentencing guidelines. We're going to look at a worksheet next. It doesn't have any numbers in it, and I'm not going to try to do math, but I'm going to show it to you. So a lot of people think that, and we end up having to explain this a lot to our clients, is like, okay, you have a choice. The state is offering you this on a plea deal. So for Sarah, we knew she was offered a sweetheart of a deal, right? And she chose not to take it. So over here, she went to trial. The jury found her guilty, and she was convicted of murder in the second degree. Over here, she would have been convicted, I believe, of manslaughter. If you take a plea, though, you may give up your right to appeal. I still think she was crazy. Okay, because the capacities of state and local correctional facilities are finite, use of incarcerative sanctions should be limited to those persons convicted of more serious offenses or those who have longer criminal histories. To ensure such usage of finite sources, sanctions, and used in sentencing, convicted felons should be the least restrictive necessary to achieve the purposes of the sentence. And then it breaks it down into different offense categories. So let me stop sharing and go back over here. Okay, are you still with me? Hi, just checking. You guys know I'm learning to use this. Thank you, Leah. You guys know I'm learning to use this kind of like seat of my pants. Okay, so what is the average age of defenders I run across? Right now, they are skewing 16 years old. 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. Some of them have been sitting in jail for 2 years, so they may have been 17 at the time. They may have been 16 at the time. But I'm getting really tired of attorneys telling me juvenile murder is on the table again. Yeah, Jenny, so young. Yeah. No, Julie, I was checking to make sure I'm still here too, and that I hadn't yeeted myself off my own stream as I've done before. Yeah, it's sad, you guys. There's an entire generation that can't read cursive. They don't know how to sign their names. They don't know how to do anything practical for themselves, and they're really misguided in what they think their phones won't give away about them, because their phones will tell on them. And we're going to do some dives into the world of what comes out of your cell phone. That's going to be probably broken up into a couple of different streams. We'll look at different parts of it, because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, but we're seeing the experts show up in the trials. And what's so funny to me is that people are like, oh, the cell phone expert, that's so boring. Well, it's not, though, because that's what's getting you caught. So if you're intending to commit a crime, you should be paying attention to when the cell phone experts are on the stand, because, it might save you from getting caught. Not that I condone that. But anyway, people are very, very misguided about their phones, about what people can and can't do. And we're going to look at warrants, because you will not believe how broad the warrants are. Celebrate. Yep, Julie, that's right. I have it on this computer. I would have to figure out how to screen share to that for you guys. But yeah. So we're gonna take a look at that. But right now we're gonna go on. Let me see, what do I have up next? Okay, so this one is Rule 7.3.704, the Criminal Punishment Code. All right, I'm gonna do that. Oops, you have to share your screen first, Katie. Yes, you do. Okay, let's see. How did I do that before? Why can't I find it now? Is it there? There it is. Okay, so we're going to look at this one. Nope, that was the one we were just on. So we're going to move over to this one. Okay, so here are some additional rules that the sentencing guidelines, which is the worksheet that we're going to look at, and it's got a booklet that goes with it. But the purpose of the sentencing guidelines is to establish a uniform set of standards to guide the sentencing judge in the sentence decision-making process. The guidelines represent a synthesis of current sentencing theory and historic sentencing practices throughout the state. Sentencing guidelines are intended to eliminate unwarranted variation in the sentencing process by reducing the subjectivity in interpreting special offense-related and offender-related criteria, and in defining their relative importance in the sentencing decision. The guidelines embody the following principles: that it should be neutral with respect to race, gender, social, and economic status. Primary purpose is to punish the offender. Is this the same one I just read? It is, isn't it? Yes, it is. I should have closed that. Is this the same one? I have 2 rules. Okay, well, we've got 2 rules. We'll just move on. This is the Florida Criminal Punishment Code. So this is like the how-to manual. We're not going to go through this. I just wanted to show you guys that it existed. And it tells you how to fill out the sheet. There's the table of contents. Okay, so let's see if I had one. Okay, here's what one looks like. Okay, can you guys see that? I can't see you, so let me check. Okay, I was stupid enough to say the 2 words. I'm pretty sure the next time I fly to the USA, I'm going to get a ridiculous. Okay, so back over here. This is what one of the criminal code score sheets looks like. So you fill out the person's information, and then under number 2, you're going to see the docket number, the felony, misdemeanor degree, the Florida statute, the offense level. I don't know what ASC and R stand for. And then, so how many counts of something? So like you hear somebody is charged with 3 counts of whatever, that's what that would be, times the amount of points for whatever that crime carries out to your total. And then you see down here, as you go to victim injury, that can exacerbate the or enlarge in the numbers. And then if you have a prior record, that's going to count too. Legal status violation adds another 4 points. Community sanction violation before the court for sentencing. So that means if you violated your probation or community control, then you end up punished to whatever you got put on hold. They gave you probation for first, and then now they'll sentence you to the full thing of the crime. So if total sentence points are less than or equal to 44, the lowest permissible sentence is any non-state prison sanction. If the total sentence points are 22 points or less, see section 77508-210 Florida statutes to determine if the court must sentence the offender to a non-state prison sanction. And I don't know if that means a hospital or not. And then if the points are greater than 44, 60 or less, the court may place the defendant into treatment-based drug court program. I cannot speak today. Treatment-based drug court program. The maximum sentence is up to the statutory minimum for the primary and any additional offenses as provided in Florida Statute 775.802, unless the lowest permissible sentence under the code exceeds the statutory minimum. Such sentences may be imposed concurrently or consecutively. If total sentence points are greater than or equal to 363, a life sentence may be imposed. And you can see down here, you will get the years and the months and where you're going: state prison, county jail, community control, probation. So community control means you're very restricted in where you can go. Life, time served. So if you are a habitual offender or a violent career criminal or a PRR, which is a prison releasee reoffender, that can factor into your sentencing as well. So that's what we have here. Here's the mitigating circumstances. So if a judge was to depart from the lower, if they wanted to sentence lower than what the statute or the score sheet calls for, then they're going to do so based on these mitigating factors. And we'll talk more about mitigation and aggravation another time, because I don't want to bore you too much to death. But this is where the judge would have to justify that. And then, let's see. Yeah. More mitigating circumstances. Okay, so let me go back to you guys. Are we all still here? Okay. Squeegee, are you on a no travel list now? Let's see what you guys are saying. Can the judge take into account inmate behavior while they were in jail? Yeah, they actually are. That is presented sometimes at sentencing. I've got a sentencing coming up on my own that I'm upset over. It's a kid. I'm upset over it, and I'm upset with the attorney. And I think the attorney's going to blow it for the kid, and I have no power. No travel list? I don't know what you're talking about. No travel list. Where did I see that? I thought you guys were talking about a no travel list. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to close this one out. I'm going to get rid of the ones we've already looked at. So we're going to look at this one, but I have to share it. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're going to look at this now. Okay, so now we're going to look real quickly at I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read you guys' chat and see where you're going with this. Oh, okay. I got you. I don't have a trial on my radar right now. I'm waiting on you guys to tell me what we're going to look at next. This is about the pre-sentence investigation report. So this is really important. Like for the kid that I have that's coming up to be sentenced, you want them to look into the Department of Corrections probation office comes and does this, right? They come and they interview your person, and they go and they find out all of this background information on the person so they can make a sentencing recommendation to the judge. So that's a little report that gets put together, and I have one, but I don't have a scanner that's working right now, so I couldn't scan it in for you guys. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, let me see, guys. I'm trying to run through this. If it's boring, we'll stop. I've got some juror questionnaire, a sample juror questionnaire. And then the difference between the degrees of murder. And then I've also got a couple of the women's prisons. Does any of that sound appealing or no? Constipated. What does that mean, OnlyFan? Oh, the Matma Bot trial. Okay, yeah, I know the trial that you're talking about. One count of. Is that the word you mean? I've never heard that wording. That word. Hold on, let me show you to the rest of the people. Oh, that's. Hold on. There. Concept. Is that a typo? Concealing. Okay. Like, it's hard enough for me to keep up. Concealing. Got you. Yeah, so I've been watching the coverage on that. I know that that's on, so that's going to be the next trial we're paying attention to. Hi, Carolina. Welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. So is that a case that you want me to find, look at from my perspective, I guess? You guys have to let me know what you want to talk about. I'm just picking things up from where people have messaged me or left it in the comments or emailed me and said, hey, what about this? And so I thought I would try to explain it because the sentencing, because that's what we're going to be looking at. Okay. So super nice to have you with us, Carolina. I'm so glad. Welcome to our little Saturday night stream. Okay, so we'll take a look into that trial. It seems to me like we have a lot of spouses eliminating other spouses. And I just don't understand, like, how do they think they're not going to get caught? Like, do they not watch any true crime? Like, you could watch Dateline and still know that you're going to be caught. They went shopping, not him, but the Simpson guy went shopping at the Walmart. Sneaky side. Jason will live. I've known Jason since 1996. He shall survive. He's also super sarcastic and a therapist. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look into that trial. Anything else? Anybody else interested in? All right. Well, I'm going to show you, therapist, says that you're her twin, Jason. Jason just went with me and another friend of mine. We live in 3 different parts of the country, but we all flew to Paris to celebrate our 50th birthdays. And that was really fun. And then I went to a wedding. One of my law school friends got married in the Loire Valley in a chateau. All right. So let's see. Okay. Would you like to see a juror questionnaire? I have a verdict form. I have a juror questionnaire. I have some Florida women's prisons pulled up. Oh, congratulations, Jenny. And you left the party to come here? Oh my God. I did. Well, I dragged Jason and a friend to night 1 in Paris, and then I took the bride to night 4. It was freaking amazing. So yes, we went to see Taylor. He was forced to, though. All right, let me see if I can take a look. Yes, Jenny, congratulations. All right, guys, let's take a look. Let's see. First, I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to share my screen again. You go here and you do this. And let's see. We're going to look at the juror questionnaire. Okay, so this is just one I took off of some guy's law website, but everything is done, you can see, by rules. So if you look, Florida Rule of Judicial Administration right here, that is the rule that the form is. So the language required in the form will be presented in the rule. But you can see it's really super basic here, this one. Your name, your address, your date of birth, your occupation, your sex. Do you read and write English? Have you ever been convicted of a crime and not restored your civil rights? If yes, say what and the date of the convictions and the name of the court in which you were convicted. Are there any criminal charges pending against you of which you are aware? If so, you need to say. Full-time law enforcement and law enforcement investigative personnel only. Any full-time federal, state, or local law enforcement officer or such entities, investigative personnel shall be excused from jury service unless such persons choose to serve. Do you choose to serve? Most of them do not choose to serve. Any official executive office you've held within any of the government. Is your hearing good? Is your eyesight good? Do you have a physical or mental disability that would interfere with your service as a juror? And if yes, say what it is and any other reason why you cannot serve. And then there's a bit here about expectant mothers. So this we will take in that they'll fill that out in like the room where all the jurors are collected, you know, at the start of a jury trial week. Yeah, has anybody here? Hi, widespread panic. You changed your album cover. Oh, is Amy Crow here too? Hi, guys. Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Did I show the Boone papers? No, I haven't shown the Boone papers. I have spoken with Chris about the Boone papers. It turns out that I have a lot of Boone. Like I didn't know. I had no, to be honest with you, Billy handed them to me and I never looked at them. I put them in a thing and put them on the shelf. So I took them down and went through them and spoke with Chris about it before I went on his show, shooting the shit with Squeegee of Justice. And I decided for right now, I'm going to choose not to share those at the moment. I will revisit it. I'm not saying never. I'm saying right now. I don't want to do that. Because one thing I need you guys to remember is that I'm subject to attorney-client privilege, one, and two, my reputation matters to me. And I can't be an investigator that's on YouTube spilling the beans about everything and expect to continue to get work. And that's really important to me. So it's gonna be tabled for now. But I'll come back to it. And if I can't show you the papers, I'll try to get something else for you guys. All right, so therapist, loved jury duty. She's a nerd. Did you tell them that you were a true crime fan? Jason, he just stands up in the jury pool, starts dancing and singing any Taylor Swift song he remembers, which aren't many. That would probably do it. Amy says, that makes sense, but do you want that negative energy in your home? Can you store them in a storage locker at the bus station? Honestly, I don't ever think about them. You wouldn't believe the negative energy that is boxed up in this home because of all the discovery I have for all these cases. Let's see. They dismiss you for reason of insanity, Jason. I don't blame them. Therapist, says that she didn't tell them that she was a true crime junkie because they didn't ask. Jenny says I need to burn some sage. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You guys, I think that at this point I don't know that I could have done the job I do now like 20 years ago, but at this point I feel like I've got sort of like a, not armor, but a tough barrier between me and the horror. I don't know. I handle it better now than I think I would have if I was younger, when things still seemed hopeful. Nothing seems hopeful anymore. All right. So we looked at that. So let me close that. Let me close this and this. And did we look at this? Yes, we did. Let's close that. Okay, we took a look at that. All right, now I have got a verdict form to show you. So let me go back over here. Okay, now we're going to look at the verdict form. Okay, so this is a sample one. I think it's a real verdict form from Miami-Dade. I just Googled it because, again, I don't have a working scanner at the moment, and I have verdict forms in my possession, but this one reads close enough to the one I've got. So what happens, I'm sure you guys have seen, where the judge is and the lawyers are doing a charging conference, like, with the jury out of the room, when they're going back and forth about the standard jury instructions. So you start with those, and then you come to an agreement with all parties. Chris wants to know, what do I do with past cases? Well, I try not to keep paper. I have a lot of paper for that 1999 case. For my electronic files, I just zip them up and store them away. Like, if it's their discovery, I don't care. I don't think I have to keep their discovery. I think I'm meant to keep my work product, and my work product is not that extensive, so it's not a big deal. And we're getting stuff now on hard drives in terabytes. There's one that is coming my way, and it's a RICO case. And so that means it's got 14 different co-defendants. Do I ever throw past cases away? It depends on what you mean by that. Do I throw their discovery away? Yeah, I do. Because I would just drown in paper, and it's up to the clerk of courts to maintain some of that and the attorneys to maintain the other part. I retain my work product. And then I had for a while a case that I thought I might like to write about, and I don't know how much of that I still have now. The RICO case gave you a nervous twitch. Yeah, so the discovery that's coming in on that is bigger than anything I've ever heard of. So we'll see. Anything related, is their time frame 7 years, for example? Yeah, 7 years. Yes. Unless it's a death penalty, then you're supposed to, at least for a lawyer, you're supposed to keep them forever at that point. Okay. So we're going to look at this verdict form, okay? Let's see. Can I do it where I stay on the screen? Is there a boot camp for this? Okay, let's try that. Present, share screen. Let's look at this verdict form. All right, so this is for a burglary. You check the box for defendant is guilty of burglary. If you find the defendant guilty of burglary, please answer each of the following questions. Did the defendant batter Yusan Rubio in the course of committing the burglary? Yes or no? Was there another human being in the structure at the time defendant entered? Yes or no? Was it a dwelling? Yes or no? All these things matter. Did the defendant carry, use, display, or threaten to use a firearm in the course of committing the burglary? Did the defendant actually possess a firearm in the course of committing burglary? Did the defendant discharge a firearm in the course of committing the burglary? And if the defendant discharged a firearm in the course of committing attempted second-degree murder, did the discharge cause great bodily harm? And I want to go back here for a second, because where it says here, you can find you would think, I would have thought, that you had to check yes to all these boxes before you could find the defendant guilty, but that's not true. You can find the defendant guilty of burglary and then not find that he met any of these other questions, which is what happened to my kid, right? He got charged with felony murder. And so that's a murder that occurs during the commission of another felony, in this case, armed robbery. And they said, yeah, he's guilty of felony murder, but he didn't have the gun. He didn't shoot the guy. You go through, I want to show it to you guys, but I have to get it into a digital format. So we filed a motion that that the sentence did not match the verdict forms or the conviction, and the judge, I don't think, has ruled on that, or if she has not ruled in our favor. But the sentencing for him is coming up, and so it just goes to show that the language matters a lot. And we were all just stunned, like that they could find him guilty but say no to, he didn't have the gun, he didn't shoot the guy, he didn't do this, that, or the other thing. It's crazy. What are we talking about? Is the jail in the same building as that giant Orange County government building? I'm guessing the county jail may be part of that complex. I'm not 100% sure. Here in Hillsborough County, our jail is not near the government building. It's in a different part of the city. The trifecta. What family is that? This, Carolina? Are they the ones that had all the children that were schizophrenic? What's your RICO trial? Reminds me of it, PSM. I don't know. Well, hopefully it's not going to be the absolute shit show that the YSL case was. That's just crazy. What's that family? There's a documentary about a family that had an insane number of children. I want to say like 10 or 11 children. There was only like 1 or 2 girls, and all of the boys ended up as schizophrenics. It's floating around here somewhere. I can't keep people's names straight, you guys. I'll have to look for it and see what it is. I find these families are very interesting, though, where something like that runs in the family. They just keep having child after child. Like, who does that? So I don't know so they're using RICO, Carolina. I don't know if this is your question or not, but I haven't been told what the basis or the predicate acts for the RICO are, but what they're doing here is what they did in Georgia, which is they're making street gangs into RICO enterprises for the purposes of charging them under the RICO statutes. And if you'll remember, those were originally designed for the mafia. Oh, is that right? Okay. She says the Trafficante family were an Italian-American family from Tampa, Florida. All right. Well, I don't know of them. Maybe it predates my tenure here. Let me see if I can pull it up on another screen. There it is, Trafficante family. Oh, they're a crime family. Okay. A mafia based in Tampa, Florida. I had no idea we had mafia here. Wow. That's super interesting. No, but this was not that family. This was like a regular family that had a whole bunch of children, and then they were all nuts. They were all men, and they were all nuts, and it was crazy. Really disturbing on a lot of levels. I have to think of what it is, therapist. If I come across it again, like I have the visual in my mind of what the picture for the cover of the book or the movie or whatever, and it's a staircase, and you just see like a line of 11 boys going all the way up the staircase, and maybe 1 or 2 girls, in Sound of Music style. So you guys see here on this, have you been able to see here on this verdict form these different questions you have to answer, and that will affect that person's sentencing? So I wanted you to see that. Okay, so Jenny asked me earlier today about six schizophrenic brothers, the Galvin family. There you go. That might be it. Yeah, that might be it. I thought there was more of them. I don't retain information very well. Oh, I didn't know that. Jenny says that her dad was a homicide detective in Baltimore, Maryland, and was the chief investigator in a mafia investigation. Oh, that's interesting, Jenny. Did you know much about his job? I understand he's since passed, but did you understand, like, as a child, what he did for a living? Oh, in the 1970s. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Sneaky says Jenny, that is fascinating, especially 1970s mob investigations. Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. You guys, if you come across documentaries that you like or you want me to look at or talk about, or you think the little group here as a whole would enjoy talking about, then send me an email or put it on a community post or a comment somewhere. My email is floridapisam@gmail.com. It's not real hard. Um, and I don't get a lot of comments. I'm reading everybody's comments, and I'm trying to put stuff up on the community tabs. Okay, so Jenny says she remembers a little, but she was 7 when her parents divorced. He retired a few years later and never really talked about his work much. Yeah, I can believe that. There's a movie set here in Tampa. Is it The Infiltrator? It's the guy from Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, and he goes undercover as a DEA guy out of Tampa. I can't think of what it's called now. But he infiltrates, I think, one of the cartels, and is based out of here. Pain and Gain. Yeah, I do. Carolina wants to know, do y'all remember that crime in Florida that was made into a movie called Pain and Gain? I don't remember the actual crime because I don't know that I lived in Florida at that time, but I know the movie you're talking about with Mark Wahlberg, and that it was based on a true crime. The Infiltrator. Thank you, therapist. You know, that's exactly correct. That's right. The Infiltrator. Hmm? That's it. Okay, so I want to tell you guys real quick about the differences in the murders, and then I'll show you 2 of the potential prisons that Sarah could go to. Well, and I guess Ashley too. Yes, is this good? I don't know, everybody carries on amongst themselves. Okay, so let's look at this. So I'm using AI here. I just did a Google search and I forgot to share my screen again. I will understand one day. Let's see, we're going to look at this one. So I just let it be the AI answer. I read it to make sure it's correct, and it is correct. So second-degree murder means that the killing was deliberate but not planned. The prosecution must show that the defendant had a depraved mind and a disregard for human life. Second-degree murder can occur when someone kills another person while committing another crime. Sarah has been convicted of second-degree murder. On manslaughter, which was the plea that she was offered, the killing was neither planned nor deliberate, but resulted from the actions of the accused. Manslaughter can be voluntary or involuntary. Voluntary manslaughter, the killing was the result of an intense emotional response, such as heat of passion. The defendant still had some intention to kill, but it was out of an emotional response. Involuntary manslaughter, the killing was accidental. This is the least severe homicide charge. So she kind of blew it there in terms of that. CPS told Sarah that suitcases can kill. Oh, because she posted a picture with Lucas in a suitcase. What if Ashley and Sarah end up cellmates? Ooh, Sarah would be mad because she doesn't want to share the attention. Yeah, Carolina is answering about the movie. It's about some knucklehead bodybuilders who abducted a rich businessman and things went south. It's pretty funny. It's a cute movie. I'm sure it wasn't fun for the real people involved. But. All right. Let me see what else I got here for you guys. I'm going to give you the definition now of murder in the first degree. You think Corey Richens is Sarah Boone times 10. Now, she poisoned him or overdosed him. Is she the eye drops one? I know her name is floating around out there a lot, but I'm having trouble keeping some of them separated. Both. Aaron says both. So she tried to feed him an egg salad sandwich, and that didn't work. So for the fentanyl in a Moscow Mule. Okay. And then she wrote the book for the kids, and she went on like Good Morning America and whatnot. She wrote a book about grief, yeah? Yeah. What did OnlyFans say, Leah? Oh, OnlyFans thinks that Corey Richens is Sarah Boone times 10. Entirely possible. Corey is extremely cunning and super evil. Is she going on trial soon? And where is she out of? Is it Utah or Florida? Or Idaho and Florida? Corey committed exceedingly premeditated murder. Sarah, what her actions could lead to, but it wasn't intentional. Just Utah. Okay, not Florida. Just Utah. Is the Walmart involved? End of April. Oh, we've got a minute before that comes down the road. Okay. I'm trying to work out content that would be interesting to talk about with you guys. Thanks, Jason. Love you. Thanks for joining. She did go to Walmart. There's a Walmart. The incident aisle at Walmart. People are so stupid. People need to watch true crime shows if they're going to commit true crime because they could learn something. Oh, so Corey is greedy. Bye, Jason. Thank you for coming. No Walmart. Oh, she was a cashier at the Home Depot. Oh, okay. Wow. What do you guys think of all these spousal killings? Like, does it make sense? Do people really think that they're going to get away with it instead, and that that's a better solution than trying to get a divorce? Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Therapist Gino says Corey is greedy and Sarah is full of self-loathing. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, Jenny says they flipped multi-million-dollar houses and she checked him out. Widespread panic. Very good. You learned the lesson. I've learned from true crime that I should never unalive anyone ever because I will be caught. You will indeed. This is true. You will be. I'm looking for I'm really interested in Courtney Clinny because of what she represents more than anything, and because it's another DV case where it looks like there's the potential either for mutual abuse or she was the aggressor. And I'm noticing in the news a lot where the influencers, like OnlyFans models, why are they all unaliving themselves or turning up dead? Yes, Christian Obumsili. Are you guys interested in that case? Well, Jenny, I know you are because you've been helping me get the information. Her bond was denied. Right. Yeah. I'm just kind of interested in it from a sociological point of view for the time we are living in now. I don't understand why they have to unalive their spouses either. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what goes through anybody's head that thinks they're going to get away with it in this day and age. Like, how? You're not going to. The phone and the cameras. Because if it's not the cameras at the store, it's the neighborhood cameras or the license plate readers that will get you. Insurance money is the motive. But don't they know that's going to be looked into immediately? I don't know. I'm unimpressed with the intellect of society as a whole. Okay. Well, let me show you guys. I'm almost done with my presentation. Yeah, I feel bad for him. He was like sleeping in the elevator foyer and everything. Ugh. All right, I'm going to slide over and talk to you about first-degree murder for anybody who's interested. Let me share my screen. And where did it go? Is this one first-degree murder? I think it is. Murder in the first degree. And let's see. I scrolled down too far. Okay, so murder just starts out as the unlawful killing of a human being. When perpetrated from a premeditated design to effect the death of the person killed or any human being, when committed by a person engaged in the perpetration of or attempt to perpetrate any of these are all felonies. So that leads to felony murder. And then they go into trafficking and drug trafficking. And they say that in all cases under this section, the procedure set forth in Statute 921.141 shall be followed in order to determine sentence of death or life. If the prosecutor intends to seek the death penalty, the prosecutor must give notice to the defendant and file the notice with the court within 45 days after arraignment. The notice must contain a list of the aggravating factors the state intends to prove and has reason to believe it can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. The court may allow the prosecutor to amend the notice upon a showing of good cause. And then it just explains here that the unlawful killing of a human being when perpetrated by an act imminently dangerous to another and evincing a depraved mind regardless of human life, although without any premeditated design to effect the death of any particular individual, is murder in the second degree and constitutes a felony of the first degree, punishable by imprisonment for a term of years not exceeding life or as provided in Florida Statute 775. Okay. Do we have any questions? Are you Gen X therapist? I am. Cece's trial is out of Florida. Yeah. Yeah, she's going with self-defense. So I just think I've heard the recordings of her, and she's just a terror. I feel so bad for that guy. I think Leah, that and widespread panic, and most of us, I'm willing to guess that of those who are here, I think we're mostly Gen X. Therapist, you know, is not you're a millennial. You can be, we can grandfather you in. Okay. Want to take a look at these prisons real quick? You're welcome, therapist, you know. No, Carolina, it's good if you're Gen X. It's the generation to be. That's my generation. That's what I think Trial TV, both of them are, if I'm not mistaken. Jenny is. It's like if you were born from 70 something to I don't know when. I'm not good with numbers. Millennial is bad. Oh, I don't think we have any millennials. Do I only do murder cases or others as well? Well, the state has to be willing to pay, and for the state being willing to pay, then 65 to 80. Thank you, therapist. The state will pay for murder. They will pay for RICO. They will pay for armed robbery, home invasion. So really violent crimes, first-degree felonies, they will pay for. So I can work on whatever whatever the state will agree to pay for. I was telling the squeegee of justice the other day, I think, I was telling him that before I started coming on YouTube, I had accidentally erased my entire YouTube history. And when I did that, and I came back in and started adding in the topics and stuff that I had been following, it showed me a whole different side of the internet I had never seen before, or a whole different side of YouTube that I had never seen before. And that was really eye-opening. And a couple of videos would pop up in like the For You or whatever it's called, and it would be some lady that is pulled over to the side of the road and is yelling into her phone, if you're Gen X, you need to get on YouTube right now, we need you. And I had like 3 different videos like that. So I was like, okay, well, why not? Sneaky side is a millennial. We'll forgive you. We forgive you. We're accepting. No worries. We're the generation nobody talks about. I love the memes for Gen X. They're great. All right. Do you guys want to see the potential prisons or no? Also, my invitation for suggestions for content is welcome. I will be getting to a sort of deep dive history lesson, like how did it affect our culture thing of O.J. Simpson. That is ultimately what I want to do. Amy Crew, we're not discriminating against anybody. We're not. I promise. Two of my very best friends are millennials. I met them in law school. So what was I trying to say? Oh, I'm trying to Squeegee wants to talk to all and every generation. Yeah, every generation's got something to offer. Okay, so as far as content is concerned, I don't want to just rehash what you're seeing on every other channel. So I'm encouraging you and anybody you know who may have an interest in looking at things from my perspective, leave me feedback, leave me comments. Because I don't want to, there's no point in me telling you the same things every other true crime channel has told you. So I'm encouraging feedback, email, comments, whatever. All right, I'm going to show you these prisons. So this first one, Katie, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Florida Women's. Okay. So I thought maybe this was just like a place she would go first. This is the Florida Women's Reception Center in Ocala, Florida. But it turns out that it is a unique facility that has multiple missions: reception, inpatient mental health, short sentence institution, and general population. So each of the missions and the inmates assigned are in different quadrants. The design of the Florida Women's Reception Center allows for separate focused missions with minimal contact with inmates from other quadrants. This separation facilitates the creation of different environments wherein the program characteristics of each mission can be fully fulfilled. So they have adult basic education, GED, special ed, and then they have all these betterment programs: Alcoholic Anonymous, anger management, crafts with conviction. I love alliteration. Creative writing. Oh, Sarah. Journey Daybook. She needs to sign up for that. Children of Inmates, Compass 180, Journey of Years, Law Library, Library Services, Life Skills, Mommy Reads, Mommy Skills, Mommy Speaks, Mommy Management, Narcotic Anonymous, Parenting, Wellness, and Yoga. So the point of going into prison and not a prison with programs like this is to try to make them somewhat, productive, so they have things to do. And I believe some of you guys told me that the Menendez brothers did a lot of this kind of work actually in their prison. So you have to become an approved visitor by completing the application and submitting it. And then you have to schedule a visit. Even when I want to talk to somebody that's in Florida DOC, it's a nightmare for me to do it. So it'll be up to each individual facility as well as that particular inmate and what they've done or what they haven't done. Puzzles. Yeah, I didn't see puzzles on there either. Okay. I have the memory of a Nat 2 widespread panic. It's constant. I mean, it's just terrible. Amy says at Florida PICM, I meant societal okay boomer type of mentality, or even playing into the generation game. I hear you. I do. I just look at it more as like, I guess sort of like what life was like, like a reality bites kind of life. I don't know. It's just an interesting time period, and I loved it very much. Lurkers are very, very welcome. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you for being here. So we've got AA, anger management, and crafts. Those do have her name on them. But did you catch that this particular prison is divided into 4 quadrants, which tells me that it's housing some special prisoners, which to me also says mental, but she's not mental. Yeah, Corey Richens did the same thing, right? How did she get to take those waiting trial in for jail though, and not in prison? Like, what jail offers that kind of curriculum? I have to learn some more about Corey Richens. I've just caught her here and there, and I've heard her name be stated on other channels. But like I said, I don't want to recycle the same old content. I'm looking for something with a different perspective for you guys while I pull my master plan together. Okay. I have one other prison. Let me see. This one is called, let me try and do this. Present, share screen. This is Lowell Correctional Institute. It's in Ocala. It has a faith and character-based residential program. It may take up to 36 months to complete. Will emphasize the importance of personal, familial, and civic responsibility, victim awareness, personal growth, meaningful work, education, substance abuse education, and peer support. The FCB residential program is organized for promoting change in inmate knowledge, behavior, and attitude in 7 learning modules and up to 3 phases of completion in the program. A faith-based and self-improvement residential program is designed to facilitate inmate institutional adjustment, rehabilitation, reintegration into the community, increase system-wide institutional security, reduction of recidivism, and a full range of religious accommodations. So, to my knowledge, what I understand about this, a prison like this, look at these vocational programs, is that it is designed, one, you have to be really good to get into it. Like, you have to have a really good record within prison to get in. And then the way I understand it is that you have to be a person who will not be in for life. So that's why they're talking about rehabilitation and skills and whatnot to let you back out again. So their vocational programs include applied information technology, cosmetology, culinary arts, electrical, equine care technology, heavy equipment operating, manufacturing, and wolf, advanced dog training handler. Oh, I've seen some of the seen that on TV. Then we have substance abuse programs, chaplaincy services, institutional betterment programs. I feel like Sarah would love to just do nothing but collect certificates. And then they have garment manufacturing. I feel like there's more available for a woman facing life than there is for a kid who committed murder and could get out. Let's see what you guys said. Okay. So Leah says that Corey Richins is a piece of work. Amy says that Corey comes from a crime family, in her opinion. Widespread Panic says Corey is crazy. Amy says she forgot to take the class How to Control Your Unbridled Greed. Is there a certificate for that? Oh. Leah says she watched a channel who did a deep dive on Lowell and it sounded scary. All of them sound scary to me. Widespread Panic wants to know if you remember where you saw that, Leah. I think Sarah is afraid of what's next too. Yeah, prison therapist. So it is the truth though that when you go into federal prison, what they do is, whether you're going to get out or not, they are turning the time into useful programs. And I think that's good, because at county jail, they just sit around and play cards all day. Bye, Carolina. Thanks for hanging with us. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Hope you come back again. But in county, they don't have anything to do, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, my kids can't even finish getting their GEDs because somebody screwed it up for all of them, and now they can't have the materials or something, or even books. I don't understand it. It makes no sense, but it's a huge waste of time, because all they do is play cards and call people on the phone all day long. And it's like they should be doing something meaningful, or learning, maybe learning cursive. Do you think maybe penmanship? Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Julie. I'm glad you appreciated it. Come back again. I'll be here, hopefully with something interesting to show you. All right, guys. So does anyone have any other questions? Did I miss anything that I wanted to talk about? I think I got it all amazingly. So I need you guys to please send in, Leah says the channel is publicly buzzed and it was Lowell Correctional Facility. Thank you, Chris. Squeegee of Justice says, thank you so much for tonight. We love you and wishes to a wonderful Sunday. Thank you. Love you guys. Widespread Panic says, since watching the Chloe Driver trial, I've gotten softer on criminals. Yes, she created a horrible crime, but the things that led her there, I think she'll be better getting therapy than in prison. It very could be. Yeah. Thank you, Erin. Thank you. Good night, guys. Okay, so I'm so grateful that you all came to hang out with me for a minute. I tried to make it informational and not boring, but I need you guys to tell me what you want to know about so that I'm not repeating everybody. And I will be back again. Love you too, Erin. Thank you. I will be back again next Saturday night, and I'm just going to plan on doing that. And please talk to me in comments, emails, community posts, whatever. And tell your friends to come and say hi. And get a peek inside the life of a PI, which is not at all glamorous. Oh, and watch out for Easter eggs in the thumbnails, okay? Because I'm going to keep doing that. Thank you so much to Leah and Squeegee of Justice and Trial TV and Widespread Panic and Amy Crew and Julie and Therapist You Know. Thank you guys in Carolina. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I will hope to see you again next week. And please, 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 I will plant the Easter eggs, I promise. Thank you, Alexis. I hope you guys will come back next week and bring a friend with you. But also, tell me what you want to know. What can I talk about? Okay? All right, you guys take care and have a good Sunday. And I'll see you next week.